All right, welcome everyone. Today, we're tackling what honestly feels like one of the greatest travel challenges of our modern era, fitting a full 10-day trip into a single sub-18-pound bag. And look, I promise you, this means absolutely no sitting on your suitcase to force the zipper shut. I know it sounds like magic, but it's really just pure strategy. In this explainer, we're going to break down the definitive framework for packing light. By using some strict boundaries and just a little bit of math, we're going to completely transform the way you travel.
So why are we even doing this? Well, picture this. It is incredibly common these days to face steep baggage fees of $75, or honestly even more, just to check a single bag on a standard flight. And you know, that's not even factoring in the absolute misery of that 45-minute wait at the luggage carousel while you watch literally everyone else head straight to their vacation. By adopting the system we're going over today, you're going to completely avoid those fees, bypass the carousel entirely, and just walk right out of the airport every single time. It's a total game changer.
Okay, let's dive into this. To get you to that perfectly packed bag, we're going to walk through this exact agenda. 1. The carry-on promise. 2. Mastering your travel wardrobe. 3. Upgrading toiletries and tech. 4. Documents and comfort essentials. And 5. The ultimate golden rule. Starting with Part 1, the carry-on promise, breaking down the 6-category framework. Let's look at how this builds our foundational strategy. Every single item you pack, and I mean every item, must rigidly fall into one of these 6 specific categories: clothing, toiletries, tech, documents and money, comfort items, and finally, your just-in-case items. If you can memorize these categories, I guarantee you'll never overpack again. You see, the secret to traveling light isn't about leaving everything you love behind. It's really about setting hard boundaries. If an item doesn't fit neatly into one of these 6 buckets, well, it just doesn't go in the bag. Period.
Moving right along to Part 2, mastering your travel wardrobe and the mathematical reality of space saving.
Okay, it is time to finally debunk that tired advice we have all heard 1,000 times. Simply rolling your clothes is not a system. It's just a folding technique. The actual mathematical reality of saving space comes from pairing compression cubes with the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Using actual compression packing cubes isn't just some aesthetic social media trend. It literally reclaims about 30% of your bag space. It's huge. You use 1 cube for your tops, 1 for your bottoms, and 1 for undergarments. But what exactly goes into those cubes?
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact formula that changes everything. 5 tops, 4 bottoms, so think like 2 pairs of pants, and maybe 2 shorts or skirts. 3 pairs of shoes, which includes the walking shoes currently on your feet, plus maybe a dressy pair and some sandals packed away. 2 dressy outfits for when you need to look sharp. And 1 swimsuit. Yes, even if you don't plan to swim, pack it, because you will always thank yourself later. By sticking to neutral base colors and maybe tossing in 1 or 2 accent pieces, this tiny 12-item capsule wardrobe mathematically yields over 15 different outfit combinations. It's pretty amazing when you map it out.
All right, Part 3, upgrading toiletries and tech, which is all about shrinking the heavy stuff.
We're all pretty familiar with that standard airline 3-1-1 rule, right? Liquids have to be in containers under 3.4 ounces, packed in 1 quart-sized bag, 1 bag per person. But here is the massive upgrade you need to make. Swap out those heavy, bulky liquids for solid alternatives wherever you possibly can. We are talking about a shampoo bar instead of liquid shampoo. Grab a solid deodorant, solid perfume or cologne, and toothpaste tablets instead of those standard tubes. Because they aren't liquids, they do not count against your limit. Plus, they absolutely cannot explode all over your favorite shirt mid-flight, and they will literally cut your toiletry bag's weight in half.
Now when it comes to your tech, you gotta follow a really strict 1-pouch rule. Everything lives in a single organized pouch. You're going to need a phone charger, exactly 1 universal adapter, seriously, skip those bulky multi-country kits, a fully charged portable battery, your headphones, a multi-port charging cable to totally eliminate wire clutter, and an e-reader or tablet. Now, quick side note, if you are bringing a laptop, that is the absolute only tech item allowed to live outside this specific pouch. And that's purely so you can slide it out easily for security screening. Everything else stays strictly contained.
Let's shift gears to Part 4, documents and comfort essentials, setting limits for your sanity and survival.
These document categories might be physically small, but honestly, getting them wrong is what actually ruins trips. You need your passport, plus a photo of it saved on your phone and emailed to yourself as a digital backup. You also need exactly 1 physical backup credit card, and keep that totally separate from your main wallet. You also need a printed copy of your hotel confirmation and boarding pass, because yes, even in 2026, phones die unexpectedly. usually at the worst possible moment. And lastly, a slim travel wallet, not your bulky everyday one. The key here is pure discipline. Store all of this in one dedicated pocket on your bag every single trip. If you do this, you will never frantically pat yourself down at the security checkpoint again.
Now, comfort items. They're essential for your sanity on a long flight, for sure. But honestly, they are a total trap. You are allowed a maximum of exactly 4 items. A travel pillow that actually packs flat, an eye mask, compression socks for any flight over 4 hours, and an empty, reusable water bottle to fill up after you get through security. Notice what isn't here. This is the exact category where travelers try to sneak in a heavy blanket, a massive second pillow, or some bulky neck fan, and suddenly, bam, you've consumed a third of your bag space. You have to stick rigidly to the 4-item maximum.
Which brings us to part 5, the climax of this whole system, the ultimate golden rule. Rule 3 for just in case.
So, the crucial point here is this. You are allowed exactly 1 just-in-case item. Not 5, literally just 1. When we're packing, our anxiety tries to prepare us for every possible disaster, right? And that always results in overpacking. Instead, pick the one single item that solves the scenario you are actually most likely to encounter. Maybe that's a light rain jacket because you're heading somewhere drizzly. Or maybe it's a pack of portable laundry detergent sheets so you can just wash clothes in the sink instead of bringing extra outfits. Choosing exactly 1 just-in-case item is the ultimate secret that saves travelers the most grief at the boarding gate.
And here is the ultimate payoff. If you actually follow this exact mathematical framework, the 5-4-3-2-1 clothing method in compression cubes, the solid toiletries, a single tech pouch, a dedicated document pocket, max 4 comfort items, and just 1 just-in-case item, your fully packed bag will effortlessly weigh between 15 to 18 pounds. This guarantees you are comfortably under every standard airline's weight limit, your bag will zip easily without you having to jump up and down on it, and you'll even have a little extra room to bring a souvenir home.
So we've built this perfect framework today, but putting it into practice is a totally personal journey. Think about your own packing habits and the strict boundaries we just set. What is the one specific item you usually overpack that you can boldly skip for your next destination? I want you to challenge yourself. Drop your destination and that one item in the comments below. I'd absolutely love to jump in and offer you some personalized advice. Remember, travel is supposed to be freeing, and dropping that excess luggage is literally the absolute best way to start your trip. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.